Guys the black belt too, right? So we'll call a few guys up here and move these guys to black belt. Let's go. Rhino, Naren, Sparky, Cecil.
Yeah! Yeah!
Guys, take a knee right here in front of us.
Yeah!
Connected to this. This is a special group. Anybody who makes it here has put a lot of time in with us. Rolled with these guys hundreds of rounds, thousands of hours. We've battled hard, all of us a lot, and with everybody in here. So there's no doubt you guys are black belts. I'm just super thankful, blessed, and proud to be able to promote you guys to black belt, to be able to do what I love to do with all of you guys who I spend more time with probably than my family. You guys are my family, and you guys see what's going on here. It's awesome, a bunch of great people that all are lucky to have each other. So super proud of you guys. I'm super happy to be able to do this. I want to let some of the other black belts say something before we turn it over to Glenn, because you don't want to follow him up. It's impossible. It's impossible. He's the reason that we are who we are. None of us would be here or who we are without him. So we're just transferring it through each other. And you guys will be passing it on, something that he's been pushing for a long time. So any of the other black belts want to say something before he gets going?
Couple other things I'd like to say. You know, being a black belt isn't just about are you the toughest person on the mat. You're beating people up. My first teacher told me 40 some odd years ago, be a beacon in martial art. Be the martial artist that other martial artists look at and say, man, how does that guy do it? So these guys here all meet that standard. They all meet that standard of excellence, but of caring. They are that example. They are that beacon that other martial artists look at. When you guys want to know who's a good role model, who do I look to? Right here, these group of guys, right here. That's who you look to. Wonder how they did it, ask them how they did it. They'd be glad to help you. When we first formed the school, 33 years ago, third of a century, that symbol in the middle, I had a little pamphlet and I passed it around to all the students. And it had these different Asian caricatures in there, and they all had a slogan underneath it that said, be like water, or, you know, be like a sack of rice. And I asked everybody, what symbol best represents us? And everybody unanimously picked that one, which means all or nothing. So we don't go halfway there. Everybody's committed. You get the teacher that you deserve. There's a reason that you guys and gals are here. You're drawn to here. There's a kindred spirit. It is harder to get a belt here. It's tougher. You know, you could go somewhere else and get it easier, but it's really important to make sure that you become the whole package here. So being able to tap everybody out on the mat, that's not going to get you a black belt here. Getting a black belt here is being that shining example. And every one of these guys, I mean, I've known them all 10, 15, 20, 30 years and watched them grow and watch the example that they make for other people. And then you got to ask yourself, what about who runs a school? Why does a guy open up a school? You don't do it for the money, I can tell you that. You're going to sacrifice. You do things for other people. If you mention Dan and Anthony, all you have to say anywhere in the Coachella Valley, say Dan and Anthony, they'll go, oh, the jiu-jitsu guys. Or say jiu-jitsu and they'll go Dan and Anthony. The terms are synonymous because everybody knows who they are. Not just because they're great martial artists, but because they're great teachers. And not just because they're great teachers, but they're great givers. They're kind of like the sons I never had. When they came into train, there were these teenagers bouncing up, these little bald-headed teenagers bouncing up the steps when we had the first Gold's Gym. When I first started training, I had to commute, 4 or 5 times a week for 14 years, because if you wanted to train somewhere good, you had to go to LA, and it was always a dream to have an LA quality school here in the desert. So I had to say, I don't want to do this forever. I had other things I wanted to do in life. I said, there has to be somebody to come and take this. And so it was these guys here. They had the magic combination that it takes. The physical skill, they're gifted athletes. I used to watch them in tournaments, and I'd sign the waivers when they were green belts so they could fight black belt division. And they would beat the black belts on the ground anyway. And so they had the skills and they had the determination. And they stuck with it. And you guys think you have some rough workouts here. I wanted to make sure that they understood what hard work and discipline meant. This will take them back a few years. I used to be rolling with them, and we'd go through a round, and I'd say, at the end of the round, you're not tired, are you? Oh, no. I go, then you could go another one. Oh, yeah. I said, then you really don't need a rest, do you? Oh, no. So we'd roll another round. And we get to the end of that round, you're not tired, are you? No, I'm not tired. I said, then you don't need a rest. No, I don't need a rest. So it was like that. They really went through the paces. And we did that so they would understand. And Brad, our other partner that's not here tonight, another black belt, we used to have strategy meetings about these guys. And we'd say, what do you think about the training? What do you think about what they're doing? And then we'd say, do you think we're being too hard on them? And we'd look at each other and we'd go, nah, keep up the pressure. And so we did. And this is what we get. This is what we end up with. Look at all the students in this room. This is probably a half, maybe a third of the school. If I've been away a while, I could ask either one of these guys about any one of you or any kid that just came in here or anybody that just came in here in the last 30 days and say, how they doing? And they'll both tell me what their latest technique is, how they're doing. They just got their finger on the pulse. They just don't come in here and say, okay, well, you guys go ahead and here's the technique. They really care about every single student in this room. When we see you guys walk in for your first workouts, we don't just see, oh, here's another white belt. We see a finished product, especially these guys. When they take this on, they're taking on a commitment for everybody in this room. They're going to be around as long as you're around. We see everybody in here eventually going to be lined up like this, just like them. Someday, you are going to be up here getting your black belt, and you for sure. Everybody. So we see a finished product. And just the way these guys teach and the caring that they give, sometimes I look at them and I just marvel. I go, how do you guys do it? But they dedicate their whole lives, their whole heart and soul into martial art. And I probably sound like the proud father because they really are like my sons, the closest thing I've ever had to it. But I really have never seen in my 40 some odd years of martial arts, more giving of a professor than those two guys. So would you guys give them a big old hand? And not only is it the happiest day of your life to get promoted, I could tell you, and I know I speak for everybody here, it's the happiest day of ours too. Big hand for these guys.